Mario Kart, Nintendo's premier series. A Mario Kart game is always a treat to get. Each one has their own special or unique twist to spice up the formula. We had bikes, 7 underwater and gliding, and Super Circuit had terminal disease. And Mario Karts usually only release one on each console. Mostly. Mario Karts are a constant on each Nintendo system, there's no doubt about that. They offer the most multiplayer fun on each system, online or local, and it all started with Super Mario Kart in 1992. Now Mario Kart is a really popular series, but the NES got no Mario Kart, mostly because it couldn't really work. I mean, just look at racing games before and even during the reign of the Super Nintendo. They were rough and didn't have unique designs, just felt like a straight line and didn't give good depth. With the Super Nintendo, Nintendo had the capabilities to do so much more. We all know the Mode 7 chip by now, a processor Nintendo would jam into cartridges for all kinds of 3D visuals. This chip was fully capable of 3D models, but barely. So most games would give the effect of 3D, such as F-Zero. F-Zero was Nintendo's first big racing game, and while it was and still is tons of fun, it was a racing game without multiplayer. Super Mario Kart was built around this. So much though that the game is constantly in split screen, even in single player. Enough rambling, let's get on to the best worst Mario Kart, Super Mario Kart. Thank God that's the intro. I was worried what game I popped in. If playing single player like me, you'll be great with time trials or Grand Prix. After choosing your game mode, you then go to the character select and everyone you expect to be here is here. And him. Donkey Kong Jr. I know I'm not the first to ask and understand why, but why? Just the weirdest inclusion, although he did have his own game in one swan song, but there were so many better inclusions, even at the time. Super Mario World came out and it was a big inspiration behind this game. Donkey Kong Country released a year later, so while not finalized, they could have used a similar version to DK to advertise that, but no, Donkey Kong Jr. Well, at least he returned in future games, like, I am sorry for you, Donkey Kong Jr. On to the courses. We have the mainstay cups, such as the Mushroom, Flower, Star, and Special, and in each cup, we have 5 courses. Okay. First up is Mario Circuit 1, and yep, this definitely checks both boxes. It's a really basic first track, but almost every game has the generic circuit track to show off and test the controls. And Mario Circuit 1 does a good job at that. Next up, we have Donut Plains 1. Donut Plains 1 is a standard grass track, but with 180-degree turns. This makes it really fun. Next is Ghost Valley 1, and while I sorta like Ghost Valley 2 because of Mario Kart Wii, Ghost Valley tracks are really boring, and the music does not help this game's case. Bowser's Castle 1 shows off the thwomps in Mario Kart, and when playing Grand Prix, it shows off the annoying programming they injected into this game. Welcome to the early Mario Karts. This is why I give you caution to play the first few games. They are so cheap. Any game from Super to Double Dash will have the most annoying AI. Not like the newer games where you get bombarded with items. Instead, the AI will speed up when you get to first and in last. They might slow down, but throw a bunch of special items only they can use. That's not fair. The reason for this and why they changed it is both because they wanted new fans to join in, and also because since they added retro tracks, they didn't need to padding the length of the game to hide the lacking content. As mentioned previously, there are 20 new tracks, but while that may sound better than what you usually get, the tracks are short and take anywhere from around 15 to 30 seconds per lap depending on your skill level, and are 5 laps long. So imagine one of the newer tracks being shrunken down to make them the same length as a baby park race. These tracks are also not very unique. There are 8 total variations, with the rest being numbered, like Koopa Beach 1, Koopa Beach 2, Mario Circuit 1, Mario Circuit 4. The only track that is fully unique is Rainbow Road, but then again, it's fucking Rainbow Road. There's a version in every game. This was done because of hardware limitations, and they probably couldn't do more without driving up the cost, so it's fine, and the track codes themselves are really fun. On 100cc. I refuse to play this game on 150 because turning too sharply will wipe you out, which is so annoying because a lot of turns in this game are 180 degrees, so you'll basically have to reset every time you make a mistake. Where were we? Ha, yes. On to the final course of the Mushroom Cup, Mario Circuit 2. This was much better than Mario Circuit 1 and shows off the jump mechanic for the first time. That was anticlimactic. But anyway, now on to my new patent-pending segment. Hello everyone, and welcome to our new segment, Mario Kart Courses Rapid Fire. Chalk Line 1 is okay, but it's held down by too much mud slowing you down. Ghost Valley 2 is only remembered because Mario Kart Wii brought it back. Donut Plains 2 is the best Donut Plains, but was never brought back to any big Mario Kart. You don't count. Bowser's Castle 2, aka Why Do You Want That Into a Racing Track Nintendo, and Mario Circuit 3 yet again was only remembered because Mario Kart Wii and Layer 8 brought it back. And this concludes our rapid fire segment, and if we don't go bankrupt, we'll be sure to see you TBA. Back to you, me. Thanks, me. On to the Star Cup. First track we have is Koopa Beach 1. I both love and hate beach theme courses, and Koopa Beach 1 I like for its theme, its music, but going through all of the water and making it slow you down is lame. Chocolate Island 2, it's way better than Chocolate Island 1, but it's held down by the fact that it's as slippery as an ice track. Speaking of which, we have Vanilla Lake 1, and I feel like the best way to show off this course is by showing what will happen to your controller after getting screwed over by the ice blocks in physics. Bowser's Castle 3, this is the best Bowser's Castle in the game, and has the main distinction of a lot of splitting paths, which is always a plus for tracks. Mario Circuit 4, this is the only Mario Circuit not remade, which is a shame because I like this. It's my second favorite due to the amount of sharp turns, and for some reason it feels unique in design somehow. Wait. 2 tracks in a row that I like, and Donut Plains 3 is next, the Mario Kart 8 Retro? Who knows, maybe the back half of this game picks up. And due to no underwater, this stage is slow and punishes you severely. Koopa Beach 2 is next, and although easy for the Special Cup, this has a lot of hazards, and I think the Koopa Beaches were great tracks. Ghost Valley 3 is next, and it's a track with a lot of bottomless pits, which is my main complaint because with the depth perception issues and getting bumped around. Yeah. Vanilla Lake 2 is better than Vanilla Lake 1, but yet again, the ice blocks are still doing that whole existing thing, so that should have been fixed. And finally, we have the big one, Rainbow Road. Fuck shit, fuck shit. Rainbow Road. Oh my god. Okay, I've refrained from talking about the CPUs for this review, but I can't. Playing on 150cc should be considered torture. This game, much like Super Circuit, has the worst controls in the series, with you slipping and sliding, combine that with the computer players cheating at every turn, never falling off and seemingly speeding up when you're far behind, makes this the most dreadful game single player wise. Not referring to the track, with the combination of slippery controls and making it very hard to catch up, makes this the most out of any game I've ever played. Well, after beating the Special Cup and experiencing true pain for the first time, you get the credits. Am I supposed to be happy? This game has its moments, but has its downfalls more than any game in the series. On one hand, the music is decent, the tracks are fun, and the multiplayer and time trials will give you an amazing time. But this was mainly coming from the perspective of someone who primarily played in single player. But playing this game in multiplayer and having someone just as close as you can be a dream. Coupled with the fact that you have match race and battle mode exclusive for multiplayer alongside the CPU special items no longer being locked away, but instead being used in those character specific tracks, makes this way better in multiplayer than in single player. This game is rocky on modern Nintendo systems. I actually think the 3DS is the best system for single player. I like the D-pad and the game looks amazing on the 3DS's screen. But the Switch is better for multiplayer since you can play this game online. So which one should I say you should play? Well, I'm just glad we have the 3DS version, so people can always play this retro game on a semi-modern system for years to come.